Hi, Dr. Paul Haider, spiritual teacher, master herbalist here. You know, I have a lot of people coming to me lately who say they don't sleep well, they haven't gotten sleep, and sometimes up to a year or more. They just kind of toss and turn. Some people haven't slept for months, absolutely not slept. I mean, it's like, wow, this is not good. And there is no reason we can't sleep, and that's a whole process. It's not like just taking something and going to bed and you know uh, that makes you sleep. It doesn't work that way. There's a whole process of making sleep happen. So one of the things I recommend, first of all, is to exercise. You got to get out and exercise. If you don't exercise, you don't feel tired, you won't feel like sleeping. There's no doubt about it. I walk 8 miles a day, I work out with weights to 100 pull-ups, 100 crunches, 100 push-ups. Uh, by the time 8 o'clock rolls around for me, I am ready to go to bed. I'm really tired. And I feel a lot of people are not tired when they go to bed. They just kind of go to bed when their eyes are wide open. and and there's no way to make that tiredness happen unless you exercise. And so that's what we were supposed to do when back in the old days, 16, all the way back 1600s, 1800s, even earlier, 1900s, early 1900s, we worked hard. Now we work on a computer. It's not hard work physically, it's hard work mentally, and we get tired that way, but we need to be physically tired, so it's really important to exercise. I don't care what kind of exercise you do, walking, swimming, biking, whatever it is, it's really important to get out there and exercise on a regular basis. Otherwise, you're not going to feel really like sleeping at all. I recommend walking at least 5 miles a day. It's not only good for sleeping better, but it also clears your mind and you clears all the thinking out. And I find that other stuff that's extraneous just kind of disappears and it's not important. And I think that's really, really, really important. And it's one of the best and easiest exercises that anybody can do. Just about everybody can walk. I walk a couple miles in the morning with the dogs early in the morning because it gets hot here during the day, and in the afternoon I go walk in the mall because it's really hot. I can get another 6 miles in there in the mall. One lap around the mall is one over a mile, so I do about 6 miles there every 6 laps. In fact, they even have a walking group in the mall early in the morning. So that's a great way to do it, and you can change your life by really getting some good cardio exercise in there, and it's good for the brain also, good for the heart, good for the lungs. It's good for everything. Stop letting your mind run amok. I mean, people have their minds just going 24/7. It's always going, and a lot of people don't know how to control it. I mean, a lot of times we have to allow our fears to and not take over because our fears will actually run our mind crazy. So we have to go, no, I'm not going there with that fear, pull it back. I'm not going there with that fear, pull it back. I'm not going to, spend my time on that fear. No, and pull it back and constantly pull it out of that fear. And because otherwise we end up with fear all the time, 24/7, and we don't sleep whatsoever. So this is really important. This is a whole, process for sleeping. It's not just take something, like I said, and get good sleep. It's a real important process. Another thing is to get out in nature. And we are from nature, we come out of nature, even before for hundreds and thousands of years, we didn't have big cities for the most part. We had, little communities out in nature, and we worked with nature, and so we yearn to be there. And it's really important for our brainwaves. Our actual brainwaves change when we're out in nature. And so it's really important that we take the time. I don't care if you just go down and sit by the river or sit by the ocean or go out to a park, Central Park in New York. It's a big city, but it's got this big open space also. And it's a great place to be alone with yourself in beautiful nature. It's a great place. And just about everywhere has some nature you can get to within a few minutes. And that's a great way to settle down the mind. Another thing is to take magnesium. It can help in a great way. Magnesium is helping soothing for the whole mind and body, and without magnesium, we don't sleep very well. So, and most people are depleted of magnesium, so that's really, really, really important. Take a little magnesium on a regular basis, and super important. I also recommend a lot of times for people who are already people who meditate, and a lot of people who do TM or Vipassana, and I find a lot of them are not sleeping well because they're doing 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, and with this day and age, with 20 minutes is not enough. By the time you get out of beta and go down into alpha, into all the different theta, and then finally get close to being uh, somewhat close to getting sleep. It takes a long time for people now. We used to just drop way down with our brain waves really quickly. It doesn't happen now because we have so much stress going on. It takes a long time just to come down so we can finally, start to allow our meditation to take hold, and so we can actually feel at peace. I recommend at least 45 minutes to an hour in the morning and the same in the evening because it's not working for people. So, and it's just before you go to bed, a lot of times it's really good to put in 45 minutes to an hour of good meditation. And I have a nice video about 2 ways to meditate, so you can look that up. And it's very simple and a great way to relax your whole mind, body, and being. There's no doubt about it. Stop watching the news. When the news is full of all the worst stuff in the world, there's no doubt about it. If you watch the news all the time and you're a news fanatic and you're stuck on everything that's happening and always worried about this or that, you're not going to sleep. There's no doubt about it. I know people who haven't watched the news in 35, 40 years, and they are people who work with their community and help bring things change in their community and bring change in their community and make things happen. And so it's really not important to watch the news and watch all that terrible stuff that's going on. Somebody will tell you sooner or later something is important. There's no doubt about that. So allow yourself to stay away, especially in the evening, from the news because it's really amps up your brain and your worry, and you don't even notice it, but it happens insidiously. And so it's a lot of times you need to take a break from it. Also, it's important to let go of the past. Something happened in the past, 5 minutes ago, or it happened 30 years ago, and you're still obsessing about it. It's really important to let that go because otherwise you will not sleep absolutely positively. So it's really important to let the past be in the past. The only thing that we have control over is right now, this moment. And so allowing ourselves to be in that past or only allows ourselves to live there all the time and we are not present. This is a gift. It's called the present. So if we allow ourselves to obsess all the time on what something happened, a while back, it does not allow us to sleep. So try to be present all the time. Okay, forgive those who have done you wrong. That's really important. A lot of people obsess about what somebody did or said or anything like that. Boy, that's, if I obsessed about that kind of thing, I wouldn't be doing anything whatsoever. I'd be rolled up in a fetal position in a corner somewhere. It does. It's not good. Yeah, I think it's really important that we just allow ourselves to forgive. Maybe not sometimes for them, but I think it's important for them also. Forgive them, forgive ourselves and allow ourselves to be. And being is very important. If we can't allow ourselves to be here and now and forgive people, how can we forgive ourselves? We've done things too. And it's important just to let go of all that stuff. Also, forgive those who have left us suddenly. A lot of times people die on us, and I know I've met a lot of people who hold on to stuff on a regular basis, and they never really forgive themselves for being angry that they left, or forgive themselves for they weren't there for that person when they left, or forgive themselves that they weren't, around them more, or whatever it is. It could be 10 billion different things, but a lot of times we just have to let them go and let them be in that place of love now. And allow ourselves to forgive, forget, and move on. That's really important. Also, get a massage on a regular basis. I recommend at least once a month. And if you can do it more often, that's great. And lets go of tension. If you get one just before going to bed, you'll sleep like a baby. There's no doubt about it. I highly recommend it, and it will do your body good. Read something uplifting before you go to bed. I mean, whether it be something spiritual or, you know, something that allows you to feel at peace. I think that's really important, and that will set the tone for the whole evening of sleep, and I think that's great. Stop watching as much TV. Boy, TV is amping up. Watching any screen is really not going to allow a person to sleep well. So I give myself an hour and a half of watching TV early in the evening, and then it's important to read and listen to music and other things which are more better for the mind and better for the brain in general and good for the spirit and soul. I think that's really important. Also, let go of being on the computer so much. Those blue screens, even if you have blue blockers on, is not going to help. It really amps up the brain. Also, let go of being on that smartphone. I mean, they have little things that tell you how much time you spend on it. Try to minimize it as much as possible. It's become a monster. People can't let go of that thing. I think it's really important. Also, have a regular bedtime. Get up at least by 6 o'clock in the morning, and I recommend going to bed by 10 o'clock in the evening. And that's also echoed in like Ayurvedic medicine and all types of things. Actually, we have two cells in our body and each organ that flash on and off every second. It knows when you should be sleeping. It's kind of like Santa Claus. It knows when you should be awake. And they've even taken scientists and took them 300 feet down into the earth in caves and told them, get up when you want to, go to bed when you want to. Eventually, they got up with the sun and they went to bed with the sun, even though they didn't even know what the sun was doing. So that was really interesting that the body knows its natural circadian rhythms. Also, do some deep breathing just before going to bed. Just start breathing like this. As deep as possible and let it out slowly. And do that about 24, 30 times, even sometimes 50 times. And I'm telling you, you're going to start feeling like, oh, I need to lay down and go to sleep. It really does work. Also, I recommend if you wake up in the middle of the night, take another 24 to 30 breaths like that, and that will help you to go back to sleep and help you to sleep deeply. Also, listen to classical music before you go to bed. That's really a great way to relax. There's a lot of information about how classical music actually entrains the mind and makes it feel calmer, actually helps you to be smarter also. So it's really interesting. A lot of scientific studies about that. Also, whatever it is that you're obsessed about, time to let it go. I think it's really important. A lot of people obsess about the news. Oh, this is happening. Those people in Congress are doing this, and all that kind of stuff is like, wow. Your, cortisols are going up, your adrenaline's going up, epinephrine, and all this stuff is going crazy. There's no way you're going to sleep. Allow it to let go. Stop the obsessing about things. That's really important. Stop worrying. Just be. I met a man who was a good friend now, and his name's Terry, and he ran for office and for being a senator, in fact. And it was very interesting that people started saying this about him, saying that about him, and all these different things, and it really got to him. And then like, oh, these people are saying this to me about me, and all this stuff, and he got so stressed out. When we laid down on his back, his actual knees came up to his chest because he was so stressed out. And he gave up. He said, this is not worth it. I'm not going to be part of government. There's no doubt about it. So we stopped. And then all of a sudden it helped. He also started taking some magnesium, and that helped also. But, when you're stressed, you use up magnesium really quick. Yeah, but, he said he learned some lessons. People will say all kinds of things. Just let it go. And that's a great lesson to learn. Just let it go. Another thing, you can never make everybody happy. Just make yourself happy. You know what I mean? If you can do that every day, that's 100%. There's no doubt about it. Try to help other people as much as possible, but you can never make everybody happy, absolutely positively. So make yourself happy. Now, make a list of what good things happen during the day and kind of peruse your day and write it all down black and white and focus on the good. That's an important part also. And focusing on the good all day long is important. That actually impinges your brain to actually focus and change your brain waves in a great way so you sleep better. Also, take 2 or 3 hours before going to bed, take some oatmeal and bananas. That's a great little treat before you go to bed, about 2 or 3 hours before, and actually helps with producing more melatonin so you sleep better. You could take some melatonin also. That'll help you with sleep. Also, chamomile tea is great. Linden flower tea is great. Valerian is great. Blue vervain is great. There's a whole bunch of different things you could take. But also, talk with God. You know what I mean? Have a great talk with God before going to bed. And talk about, what went good, what went bad. And just allow yourself to listen to what he says in the end. Also, focus on what is right now. This is super important. And most people focus on the past, focus on the future, focus on anything, but they're not focused right here, right now. And so it's really important to do that. You can do what you can do today, right now, but let God take over and do the rest. There's nothing you can do about some things, absolutely nothing. Know that we are pure consciousness, and that we do not end no matter what. And be at peace knowing that we go on forever. Also, laugh a lot. I laugh all the time. I mean, I kind of learned that lesson from the Dalai Lama, I think, because that man laughs all the time, and he is a person I look up to. He brings peace to a lot of people. And I think we should learn from him and laugh a lot, even in the worst of situations. It will help you sleep. There's no doubt about it. Don't what others say get you down. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing you can do about it anyway. Surrender. 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 Let go. Let go. Let go. That's very, very important. And finally, let go and let God. And that is very, very important. And if you do all these things, you're moving in the right direction towards having a great night's sleep. And I know you can do it. It's not about just taking something and sleeping better. Your whole life is all connected. Everything is connected. So allow yourself to have a wonderful night's rest by allowing yourself to focus on everything in a whole different light, because you're going to get a great night's rest if you focus on the process that I just laid out for you. And pick and choose which ones work really well for you and focus on those specifically. And that's going to make a big change in your life. If you want to get a hold of me, my phone number is 831-869-9119, 831-869-9119. My email is drpaulhader@gmail. You can see all that down below. You should show more. My Skype address is drpaulhader. You can WhatsApp me. You can text me. You can go to my Facebook page at drpaulhader, and you can message me there if you could become my friend. And also, I'm here to help you in any way. If you have a short question about health or anything, a spiritual question, whatsoever. If you want to do a consultation with me, I would be more than happy to help you, and we'll get you on the road to healing and being happy in general inside and changing your life. If you care to subscribe, I greatly appreciate that. And please watch the little ads on here. It brings a couple cents toward my wife and I, and we greatly appreciate that. If you care to make a donation, the links are down below, and we appreciate that too. I don't get anything out of being here. I just do it because it's a good thing to do and help people in general. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Sunday. And remember, sleep is a process which is all connected throughout your day. And enjoy life, and remember, the most important thing is, I love you.